Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Monday the 13th of March. Here you can see we have our two types of tables in front of us. We have our trend traders table and our day traders table. These are the same studies but just highlighting different time frames to us. We can see that some of the currencies are highlighted in green. That means there is a confluence between those trading time frames, and that's where we'll be focusing some of our attention in these videos. The tables update every 5 minutes, 24/7, meaning that our members will be able to see how the markets stand right now in real time. So let's see what the tables are showing us today. Let's see how the tables will show us what actionable pairs we can focus on, and we can see that the Swiss franc is topping those tables, being S1. We can see that that's followed by the Japanese yen as S2, and we can see that the pound is S3 on both. The Aussie is the weakest currency on both tables, followed by the Canadian dollar. So these tables really help us strip out the noise and give us some focus on what forex pairs we should be looking at. Now, we've spoken about the Swiss franc quite often last week. We spoke about the Australian dollar a lot last week as well. So is that momentum going to continue? Now I'm looking at pound Aussie today. Pound Aussie we featured last week, and I wanted to touch upon it this week because we're at a key area in the market, and if price is going to continue according to the tables, then we should see price head up to the next zone of interest. So just diving into pound Aussie, I'm on the weekly time frame here, and we can see that price is now at the 1.82 handle resistance. This resistance was formed from these lows through here and these most recent highs. We also have a trend line running through here as well, which adds as confluence to this zone being a resistance zone. Now the tables are obviously suggesting to us that maybe the momentum here isn't fading at this resistance, which makes me think that if that's the case, then price may trade through the resistance level and continue to the next level of resistance. Now that resistance could be the 1.9150 handle, which were these highs that formed back early through sort of January 2022. Now that to me is a potential move which could obviously see us go around about 800 to 900 pips to the upside. So that's why I'm really interested in that potential there, because that is a significant amount of pips we could be looking to achieve around that point. Now obviously we talked about pound Aussie last week, and if I go to the 4-hour time frame, we mentioned it multiple occasions through these lows in here at this support and breaking through the 1.8 handle, and you can see most recently price has broken above that 1.82. We've come back, we've retested a previous area of resistance, now turned support, and buyers are stepping back in again. So the momentum really is still with this market to the upside, and I'm looking to see how we can potentially continue this move. Now obviously the hourly has taken off a little bit this morning. It came back into those highs, like I said, and has moved higher. So the way I'd look to structure a potential move here is if price came back down, maybe we can see some kind of inverse head and shoulder play with that 182 level, and if price was to come back down, maybe form a rejection at the 182, we could start to look to build a position around about the 182 with the mindset of seeing price trade up to the next level of resistance, which is that 191.50 or 1.9150 I should say. So definitely still potential here for pound Aussie to move to the upside. We can see that the risk in the market is definitely off as well, so that's why we're potentially going to look at some yen opportunities. Now yen has just come onto the tables as well, so the tables auto update every 5 minutes, remember, so this is showing us real-time information, and the yen has just appeared just as I was starting the video. So we were talking about CAD yen and Aussie yen downside last week, so if I was to go to Aussie yen, we can have a little look at these to see how prices continued to the downside. So we were expecting price to potentially come down to this 87.50 handle it still looks likely that we could see that occur. We're looking at the 4-hour time frame in particular, and was discussing this area around here where price had traded to the downside. The 90 spot 25 lows had come into a retest. It then came a little bit higher, found resistance again, traded through that. But we were talking about really the 90 spot 25 being an area of resistance for a short trade. So if you had waited for price to come into that, we talked about a limit order around there, and you can see that price has traded down around about 200 pips to the downside into this next area where we said price could find some support in the market. We also discussed if price found support here, you could look for shorts on a pullback as well, which would have been about 175 pips to the downside. So definitely some nice moves going on here. You can see today we've really pushed to the downside there quite aggressively, so I'd be looking for momentum to continue here. Obviously we are very close, however, to the resistance at the moment, so you might want to wait for a larger move back to the upside. But basically the yen starting to strengthen in the markets at the moment, so we're looking for that momentum to continue. The Australian dollar remains weak, so pound Aussie could continue to trade higher with that bullish momentum. What I would like to see is price confidently break above these highs now. If we can get a good confirmed break above these areas here, maybe around the 1 spot 83.25, if we could trade above that level, that would give me a lot more confidence to say that price was going to trade higher. Because, you know, what I don't want to see is price form a double top here, break through and break down, because then that's not what we want to be looking for. We want to be looking to see if price will push higher. Now, the only thing I can say about that, if we were to see that sort of double top, is price will come back towards these highs here, and that could potentially lead to an opportunity. But I'm looking to see if momentum will continue at the moment above this 1.82 handle. So hopefully that all made sense, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.